Hello everyone. Okay, today we are looking at the difference between the present perfect and the present perfect tense. Okay, it is actually part of our language awareness in our unit 3, the world of sports. Okay, the main difference between these two tenses is that the simple form is used to talk about completed actions or how many times an action happened, whereas the continuous form is used to form on the action itself or how long something has been happening. So by looking at that picture, can you spot the difference? Okay, present perfect continuous emphasize on activity, meanwhile present perfect emphasize on results. Okay, for example, you can look at the picture. He has been repairing the car for 2 hours. And the result of that, he has repaired the car. We use the present perfect simple to focus on the result of a completed action or how many times something has happened. However, we use the present perfect continuous to focus on the action itself or how long something has been happening. It is unimportant whether the action has finished or not. For example, Carol has played squash once. Kevin has been practicing in the skateboarding park all weekend. Alright, as you can see from the slide, okay, you may refer this note in your textbook, page 35. Okay, read about the uses of the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. The first one, present perfect simple for something that started in the past and has continued until now. Maksudnya benda yang bermula pada masa lalu dan masih lagi berterusan sehingga sekarang. For example, he has coached wrestling for 8 years. Okay, it means that dia telah menjadi jurulatih untuk sukan wrestling selama 8 tahun. So until now, he is still the coach. Okay, number 2. Something that happened in the past but we don't know or we don't see exactly when. Okay, benda yang berlaku pada masa lepas tapi kita tidak mention bila. Tapi bendanya telah berlaku. For example, the team has bought new uniforms. Meaning to say that you didn't know when did the team buy that uniform. But the things that you know is the team has bought the new uniforms. Okay, number 3. Something that happened in the past but has a result or an effect in the present. Sesuatu yang berlaku pada masa lepas tetapi memberi kesan pada jangka waktu sekarang. For example, Steven has broken his leg. Alright, Steven patah kaki, so he isn't playing in the match this week. Disebabkan itu, dia tidak dapat bermain sebarang perlawanan pada minggu ini. Right, next one. An action that has just finished or happened. Perbuatan yang baru sahaja habis dan terjadi. For example, we have just scored a goal. Baru saja kami menjaringkan gol. Alright, next one. To describe about experiences or achievement. Alright, untuk menerangkan sesuatu pengalaman ataupun pencapaian. For example, our cricket club has won lots of prizes recently. Our cricket club telah memenangi banyak hadiah baru-baru ini. Okay, for present perfect continuous, it is used for actions that started in the past and are still in progress now or have happened time and time again until now. For example, we have been teaching basketball for years. Or he has been having tennis lessons since he was 5. Okay, maksudnya dia telah menjalani latihan tenis semenjak umur 5 tahun. Next, for continuous action that happened in the past and have finished recently but have a result or an effect in the present. Alright, for example, she is tired because she has been jogging. Okay, dia penat. Sekarang ni dia rasa penat sebab kerana dia baru lepas jogging. Next one, to emphasize how long actions have been in progress. Okay, for example, you have been practicing for the badminton game for weeks. Okay, we will look at more details in the next slides. Okay, the first example. I have been living in Moscow for 10 years. And another one. I have been working as a teacher for more than 15 years. What you can see in both of these sentences. Okay, alright. Now I am talking about actions which started in the past and still going on. But you have to remember that in this case, we can also use the present perfect tense. For example, I have lived in Moscow for 10 years. Or I have worked as a teacher for more than 15 years. You can use either present perfect and present perfect continuous. Because when we are talking about some usual or habitual activities or situation which start in the past and still going on, usually with the verbs like live, work, wear, play, go, and read. So you're talking about the duration, jangka masa of usual, kebiasaan, aktiviti yang berlaku. Okay, next one. These two sentences. Okay, look at these two sentences. She has been going to this cafe for many years. Number 2. He has been playing tennis since he was a child. Alright, these two sentences are about some repeated actions or situation but not permanent, which started in the past and still happen. And the focus and the intention now is on the duration of this action. That's why we are using here the present perfect continuous. Okay, next one. We can also use this present perfect tense with the same verbs and in the same situations. Alright, you look at the you look at the sentence that she has gone to this cafe for many years. He has played tennis since he was a child. However, the focus will shift from the duration of these actions to the fact or the outcome. We wouldn't want to emphasize how long the action has been happening. We're just talking about the fact here. We're just stating about the fact. We are not talking about how long. Alright, with the present perfect continuous, we can also use the preposition for and since in the same meaning as with the present perfect. Alright, how long and indicating the starting point. Alright, you look at for is to indicate how long. Meanwhile, for since to indicate the starting from, and the year is the starting point. For example, you can see I have been living in Moscow for 10 years, or I have been living in Moscow since 2008. Okay, to make the present perfect continuous, stand form when the auxiliary verbs has, been, and the present participle of the main verb have been waiting. As you can see, when it is singular, you use has. When it is plural, you have to use have. Present perfect continuous, have plus been plus verb ing. Meanwhile, for present perfect, have plus verb. The verb should be in past participle. Okay, now I'm using the present perfect tense form because the present perfect continuous is never used with state of verbs. Meaning to say, we never use present continuous with stative verbs. Alright, for example, the verbs are know, understand, like, love, belong, appear, need, and so on. Alright, you can always refer to our Unit 1 in download textbook about stative verbs. Okay, later I will also put the link after the video to give you a clearer picture about stative verbs. So in this case, I have known Mary for many years. It's not I have been knowing. That one is incorrect. Alright, next one. We cannot use the present perfect continuous when we are talking about some short or instant actions. Benda yang verbs yang pendek or yang berlaku dalam sekelip mata. For example, you can see from the sentence, she has just entered the room. So the word entered meaning to say that perbuatan tu berlaku sepantas yang mungkin. So you cannot say she has been entering the room only. Alright. The present perfect tense is possible in this case. For example, I love traveling, but I have never traveled to India. So I hope I will go there one day. So we use the present perfect tense when we talk about experience, pengalaman, especially when the words ever and never. Okay, as you can see from the example given there, I have never traveled to India. You cannot use present perfect continuous. I have never been traveling to India. That is incorrect to use present perfect continuous. Alright, these two examples is that the activities are no longer happening. They have recently stopped. So why are we using the present perfect continuous? It is because we want to emphasize the duration of the process, and also because the speaker may be showing some kind of strong emotion, for example, surprise, anger, or any other emotions related to the situation. Okay, this one. How long have you been running? Dia tanya jangka masa awak berlari. So the answer here, I have been running for 45 minutes. Dia telah berlari selama 45 minit. So the duration, we have to use present perfect continuous. Alright, next one. It is such a mess. What have you been doing here? I have been cooking. Alright, this one to show a process. But if you look at this slide, alright, you choose to use the present perfect instead of present perfect continuous, the meaning will change and the emphasis will shift. Dia akan bertukar from the duration of process to the result of outcome. Daripada what you call it, jangka waktu, jangka masa proses sesuatu benda terjadi kepada akibat sesuatu keadaan. For example, how much have you run? I have run kilometers. 5 kilometers. Number 2, what have you done here? Well, I have cooked dinner. As you can see, the questions here do not mean how long. Instead, they mean how much and what is the result of that. So let's sum it up. Alright, we use both the present perfect and present perfect continuous when we describe habitual or permanent activities or situation which started in the past and still going on for repeated activities or situation which still happen with the verbs like live, work, wear, play, go, and read. Alright, you can see from the examples there, I have lived in Moscow for 10 years. That is to show fact. I have been living in Moscow for 10 years. That is also okay for you to use present perfect continuous as well. Same goes to the next one. She has been going to this cafe for many years. That one to show duration. And you use present perfect. She has gone to this cafe for many years to state the fact. Alright, we use only the present perfect. We use only the present perfect with stative verbs. For example, understand, know, and so on. There are some lists that you can refer to about stative verbs. For example, I have known Mary for 10 years. Alright. Also to describe short instant action where the verbs like come, enter, and so on. Example, she has just entered the room, or she has just fallen from the bed. Alright, next one, to talk about experience, especially when the words ever and never, you always use present perfect. They have never traveled to India. Next one, when the action is finished with a focus on the outcome, especially with a question to be asked, is how much or how many. Okay, for example there, we have already passed all the tests. Alright, meanwhile, you can only use present perfect continuous in some cases, like to describe an unfinished action, but it is important to state that the action is still going on or is still in process. For example, they have been writing the test for 2 hours. It means that dia masih lagi menulis sehingga sekarang. Alright, next one. And in general, we use the present perfect continuous when duration of the action is important of the action which started in the past and might be still given on or recently finished, but we can ask the question how long but not how much. For example, I have been running for 45 minutes. The word 45 minutes is to show how long you have been running. Berapa lama yang awak telah lari? 45 minutes. So that's why you have to use present perfect continuous. Okay, I show you another slide. Okay, example, as you can see from the picture, we have been painting the flats. That's why it smells. We still have 2 rooms to paint. This one to emphasize the duration of the action. Maksudnya masih lagi dia tengah mengecat, which started in the past and may or may not be completed by now. Next one. Alright, now we have painted the flat. All the rooms are painted now. Okay, yang tadi dia masih lagi proses. Yang sekarang telah pun mengecat. Sudah habis mengecat. To emphasize the result of the action which is complete now. Yang sudah selesai sekarang. Alright, next one. Tom has been mending his bike all day. Alright, you can see from the picture, dia sedang memperbaiki, membetulkan basikal dia sepanjang hari. So, you use present perfect bila dia sudah selesai membaiki basikal tersebut. So, we use present perfect. Tom has mended his bike. Alright, this one, another one. Tim has been going to the gym for the last 3 months. That one, repeated action, perbuatan yang berulang over a period of time, untuk sesuatu jangka waktu yang berlaku. Maksudnya 3 bulan lepas, up until now, dia telah mengunjungi gym. He has been driving for 5 hours. She has been reading for 2 days. It has been raining for all day. As you can see, you use present perfect continuous when you want to say, to talk about the duration. Alright, for present perfect, Tim has lost 5 kilos. Meaning to say, hasil dia pergi gym selama berapa bulan? 3 bulan, dia telah kehilangan 5 kilo. So, that one is the result. He has driven 500 kilometers so far. Alright, because why? Because dia telah, dia telah memandu selama 5 jam dan hasilnya dia dapat memandu sejauh 500 km setakat ini. Next one, she has read 200 pages of the books. Alright, why 200 pages? Kenapa sebanyak 200 pages? Because the process of reading the book for 2 days. Alright, the road is wet. The rain has just stopped. Okay, maksudnya jalan tu basah, hujan baru sahaja berhenti. You use has just stopped because all this while it has been raining for all day. So this one, how long for present perfect continuous versus how much for present perfect tense. Alright, this one also taken from your textbook. You can always refer to your textbook later. Okay, past simple is used to talk about completed action that happened at a specific time in the past. Dia ada waktu yang spesifik mentioned there. The present perfect simple is used to talk about something that happened at unspecified time in the past, but that is still relevant to the present. In general, we use the past simple to talk about a completed action that happened at a specific time in the past. We use the present perfect simple to talk about something that happened at an unspecified time in the past or that happened in the past, but that is still relevant to the present. For example, I went to Spain to see Barcelona play in 2011. Dia mention tahun bila, exactly the year, then you have to use simple past tense. Only when. Specific time in the past, mention 2011. Meanwhile, for the second one, I have been to Spain. Dia pernah pergi ke Spain to see Barcelona play. Maksudnya untuk melihat pasukan Barcelona bermain. Tetapi in this sentence, they did not mention bila, the exact time. Dia pernah pergi tapi tak ada waktu yang spesifik. So unspecified time in the past, you have to use present perfect simple. Alright, the important point to remember is that the present perfect simple always has a connection with now. Benda yang awak kena ingat, present perfect simple ni akan ada kaitan dengan apa yang terjadi sekarang. Whereas the past simple only tells us about the past. Past simple pula benda yang dah berlaku, tak ada kaitan pun dengan masa sekarang. So we also use the present perfect simple to give new information, but when we continue talking about it, we usually use the past simple. Example, I've seen Barcelona play. Dia pernah lihat Barcelona bermain. When did you see them? I saw them in 2011. See the word saw? Because they mention the year, the exact year, then you can only use simple past tense only. Alright, this is the exercise you are supposed to do in your exercise book. Page 35, you have to read the question carefully, complete the text, use the present perfect simple or the present perfect continuous. It's either have or has plus been plus verb ing or has or have plus past participle. Okay, for grammar reference, you can always refer at the back of your textbook. There are further details about this topic. And this one also, you have to circle the correct words. For example, alright, let's try it out. For the first one, Okay, for the first one, circle the correct words. When you see the word just, benda yang baru saja berlaku, remember just now what did I mention? You have to use present perfect. So I have just put on my football kit. Okay, the rest you have to complete also in your exercise book. And last but not least, this one is also taken from the textbook. Complete the dialogue between use is either past simple or the present perfect simple. So you have to complete number 1 until number 5 only from your textbook. Okay, or you want to, alright, we try to do it together here. Alright, look at A. Alright, they mention here last night, so that is very specific, right? So you have to use to change go to simple past tense, which is when. Okay, number 2. Oh, I already be two boxing matches. Alright, this one is there is no specific time mentioned, so you have to use present perfect simple. So I have, not has. I have already been Okay, next one. The word here, as you can see, for here. Remember just now when I said the word for or since, you have to use present perfect simple. So do you know that Joe singular, so you use has worked. Really, I thought he. Alright, you look at towards the end of the sentence, they mention specific time here. That's why you use simple past tense, start. Past tense is started. Alright, next one. Remember just now I did mention when you see the word ever or never. Alright, so here you use have. Have you ever meet? Past participle is met. Well, I have seen. Wow, 5 once. Alright, this one I watch. Past tense. Okay, Tony has broken. When? Really? How did it happen? Alright, next one. He fell while he was king. Okay, how long ago did you begin watching baseball 10 years ago? Recently, baru berlaku. So, I have recently taken. Sorry, not enough space. I just write down the word I have taken. The correct answer is I have recently taken. And we won't. Alright, next one. Okay, as you can see, we have present simple, present continuous, present perfect continuous, present perfect, and past simple here. Okay, so your task is to complete all those two exercises. Okay, page 35 and page 37, not the one that I showed the answers. Okay, the first two exercises, do it in your exercise book. I will provide the link for you to submit your exercise later below the video. Alright, that's all for now. Thank you.